Season 2 opens with a bang, literally. The first 5 minutes of Invincible Season 2 opens with the shocking revelation that Mark Grayson has joined the Viltrum Empire and is working with his father to conquer Earth. The duo brutally murders Immortal, showcasing a frightening display of teamwork and setting an immediate tone of intense violence, until these disturbing events are revealed to be taking place in another dimension. Establishing a multiverse raises the stakes immediately, unlocking the potential for different versions of the same character to interact. We're quickly pulled back to reality and reintroduced to the familiar versions of the beloved characters from Season 1. Roughly 1 month has passed since the battle between Invincible and Omni-Man, and Mark is struggling to reconcile his father's actions. Flash forward to 2 more familiar faces. The Muller twins are imprisoned, that is until ominous green portals appear in their cell and transport them to safety. They have Angstrom Levy to thank for their newfound freedom, a mystery figure who boasts the ability to travel between dimensions. Angstrom shares with the Muller twins that their home dimension is one of the few where Invincible and Omni-Man fought one another. The father-son duo has taken over the world in most other universes. Angstrom, a pacifist, is uninterested in interfering with an Earth-Viltrum war and instead enlists the help of the Muller twins to build a device that will imbue him with the knowledge of all his multiversal counterparts. The new Guardians of the Globe team, led by Cecil Stedman. He adds new team member Bulletproof, appoints Immortal as the new team leader. The first episode peaks when the Muller twins complete work on the device that will help Angstrom unlock infinite knowledge, but things don't go according to plan. Invincible steps in to save the day and destroys the device, a feat that nearly cost him his life. Several versions of the Muller twins are seconds away from beating him to death, and when Angstrom removes his helmet to try to help Mark, he destroys the device, the building, and seemingly everyone inside. In the aftermath of the massive detonation, 1 Muller twin and 1 version of Angstrom survived, both severely marred. Angstrom's chance at a peaceful life where he's free to cure all universes of any afflictions is gone, and he has only one plan for revenge: kill Invincible by any means necessary. Finally, we see Mark's friends Amber, Eve, and William donning caps and gowns at one of the most significant events in their life, thus far high school graduation. As the episode deviates from the new graduates, it's quickly revealed that Mars native Ruse, Aka Shape Smith, is hiding out at the United States Space Agency, a post he is likely not long for. Mark flies off to investigate a Darkwing sighting, which immediately causes a stir. Invincible quickly discovers his sidekick Nightboy has taken up the mantle. He manages to subdue and capture the new and improved Darkwing, but not before tapping into his more sinister side. Things are beginning to click for Debbie, who is shocked to see Donald alive after her former husband Nolan ripped his spine out. She reaches her breaking point, but fortunately Mark is there to comfort his mother, just as she's been there for him so many times. In the other universe, we see a shocking reveal that a version of Mark has been imprisoned by Angstrom Levy. 2 female versions of Cecil and Donald appear, ready to make Invincible pay for all the damage he's done to their world. It's revealed that Alan the alien was created by the Unopians in collaboration with a coalition of planets in hopes of standing against Viltrum. This plan proved unsuccessful when Alan went head-to-head with a Viltrumite and lost, but the coalition realized he still had something to offer. Alan set off in hopes of finding allies to stand against Viltrum, and his search led him directly to Earth and its protector, Invincible. While the leader of the coalition, a Viltrumite named Thetis, is convinced Mark can be a useful ally, the rest of the coalition is not so quick to trust a half-Viltrumite. Alan the alien is ambushed by 3 Viltrumites who demand information on both Mark and Omni-Man. When his answers prove less than satisfactory, the 3 Viltrumites do what they were trained to do and brutally murder Alan while his girlfriend Telia is forced to stand by and watch. Back at Coalition headquarters, Alan is revealed to be alive, but in grave condition. Telia has been at his side since he sustained his injuries to ensure he's never alone, and now Thraxa stops by to visit his favorite soldier. He convinces Telia that it's okay to step away for a moment, that he can watch after Alan. As soon as she leaves the room, Thetis pulls the plug on Alan's life support and watches him die. A rogue Thraxan appears to explain his dilemma. Invincible has to leave Earth and make the 6-day journey to Thraxa, where he can save the Thraxans from dangerous meteor showers. Cecil strongly objects, and although Mark follows in his father's footsteps by refusing to follow Cecil's orders, he knows in his heart he's doing the right thing. This is how heroes are born. When Mark arrives at the planet Thraxa, he quickly learns he's been deceived. There is no imminent meteor shower threatening to kill the innocent people he agreed to save. They reach the throne to find the monarch is no Thraxan, but Mark's father, Omni-Man. We finally learn where Omni-Man went after departing Earth in the Season 1 finale. He didn't return to Viltrum. He roamed the galaxy reconciling his actions without any discernible purpose until he wandered upon a group of stray Thraxans that required his help. After rescuing them from certain deaths, they invited him back to their home planet to rule as a benevolent leader, not a malicious conqueror. He reveals to Mark that he's married a Thraxa woman and fathered another son. Nolan knows the Viltrumites will never accept his half-Viltrumite, half-Thraxan child and plan to kill him and wipe out the entire planet when they arrive. He calls on Mark for help defending his newly discovered brother and fighting the Viltrum Empire when they inevitably arrive. Mark makes it clear he has no intentions of helping his father. Before Mark even has time to consider, meteorites rain from the sky, signaling there is no time for training or decision-making. In a last-ditch effort, Nolan asks Mark to take his son to safety. Mark agrees, but their security after arriving at the cave is short-lived. Lucan has tracked them down and plans to kill Mark and his brother, but fortunately Nolan flies in to save his wife and both of his sons at the last moment. Omni-Man and Lucan get into a heavyweight boxing match that ends with Nolan slicing open his former Viltrumite comrade and his guts spewing out on the floor. The father-son duo flies back to the main city and find nothing but utter destruction. Thula and General Craig have laid waste to the city and slaughtered everyone inside. Nolan and Mark defeat the murderous pair, but not before Thula severely wounds Mark. After the battle concludes, Nolan goes over to check on his son, but it turns out Lucan isn't dead. He flies in and appears to break Nolan's spine, gloating in front of his son. The Viltrumites win the day, taking Nolan back to their planet for execution and sending Mark back to Earth with an ultimatum: kill a few to prepare for Viltrumite rule, or they will kill millions upon their arrival. To tie things up back on Earth, we check in with the Mauler twins and Donald. The newest clone has poisoned the mangled original and plans to produce many more clones, not just one. Donald finds the old security files and stumbles across some disturbing footage. After watching his death, everything he thought he knew about himself is now void, and the audience is left wondering how Cecil managed to find another perfect copy of Donald to fill the original's place. Picking up where we left off, following the Viltrumites' attack, Mark spends 2 months helping Thraxa rebuild before returning to Earth with his brother. At the GDA, Donald confronts Cecil about his body. Cecil reveals he successfully recovered Donald's brain and placed it in a robotic endoskeleton. The Guardians discover a Martian ship bound for Earth, prompting Shapesmith to reveal his identity and the impending Sequid invasion. After Eve recommits to heroism with Rex's encouragement, Cecil recruits her and Mark to join most of the Guardians in thwarting the invasion, but they are overwhelmed. Concurrently, remaining Guardians members Rex, Duplicate, and Shrinking Ray confront the Lizard League after they capture a military base to ransom its nuclear missiles, resulting in Kate's apparent death, Ray getting devoured by Komodo Dragon, and Rex losing a hand and then getting shot in the head by King Lizard. In the post-credits, Alan recovers from his injuries despite Thetis ending his life support and has become as strong as a Viltrumite. Thetis reveals he is a rebel Viltrumite and tasks Alan with recruiting Mark to aid the coalition against the Viltrum Empire. Rex survives being shot and defeats King Lizard before he and Ray are recovered and treated for their injuries. The Guardians narrowly escape the Sequids and rescue the real Ruse. Debbie decides to raise Mark's half-brother and names him Oliver. Despite her suspicions of Cecil, she accepts a nanny he hired to help take care of him. Rick recovers from being a reaniman, but remains traumatized by the ordeal. Mark and Amber's relationship becomes strained when both realize the toll that Mark's work as Invincible has taken on their lives. Eve's feelings for Mark begin to resurface. While Amber speaks to Eve, Mark talks to Rosenbaum, who reveals that Nolan previously wrote several unsuccessful sci-fi novels, which Mark learns potentially reveal Viltrumite's weaknesses. He relays the information to Alan, who tells him about Thetis and the Coalition's stand against the Viltrum Empire. Ruse returns home but is attacked and repossessed by a Sequid hidden inside him. A healed and imprisoned Nolan is interrogated by General Craig for his loyalty to Earth. Angstrom Levy returns to his native Earth. Mark and Amber attend a comic convention, but he leaves to help Rex. Donald discovers that he has died numerous times and that the original ordered the memories to be erased. Nonetheless, he later overcomes the trauma while dissuading Rick from committing suicide. While on a date, Mark is confronted by the Viltrumite Anissa, who tries to remind him to have Earth join the Viltrumite Empire. When Mark abruptly leaves to save a cruise ship from a kaiju, Anissa joins him and effortlessly kills it, saving the passengers. Despite proving Earth's weakness, Anissa fails to convince Mark to complete his mission and grievously beats him before ultimately sparing him and leaving to report back to Craig. Amidst this, the Viltrumites confront a passing Alan, who feigns defeat and allows himself to be captured. After breaking up with Amber, Mark is then called by Angstrom Levy, who has taken Debbie and Oliver hostage in their own home. Mark returns home to confront Angstrom as he threatens Debbie and Oliver. Angstrom retaliates by sending Mark across the multiverse to weaken him. Debbie tries to convince Angstrom to let Mark go, but he refuses, emboldened by the memories of his variants and their Mark's murderous actions from their dimensions. Debbie attacks Angstrom, who breaks her arm and beats her. Mark returns and, enraged by his mother's injuries, battles Angstrom across multiple dimensions before furiously beating him to death, stranding himself in a desolate dimension. Distraught by his actions, Mark is eventually found and sent home by a future incarnation of the Guardians from his own dimension. Before Mark leaves, the future Eve confesses her feelings to him. The Immortal discovers that the original Kate is alive and in hiding and reunites with her, while two archaeologists uncover the tomb of Kahor. At the urging of her future self, Mark meets with Eve, but is unable to admit his mutual feelings for her. Alan is sent to a Viltrumite prison where Nolan is being held and proposes he join the fight against them. Nolan reveals his guilt for his actions and admits that he misses his first wife, Debbie. That's it for our recap of Invincible Season 2 Part 2. And remember, if you missed Part 1, the recap is right here on our channel. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more recaps and breakdowns, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. See you next time.